right, tonight on the World Wide Web of Weird, we're going to start out with an update from last week's World Wide Web of Weird. I always say if I find some kind of piece of evidence or whatever has been updated or revealed to be utter crap or furthermore revealed to be even more true, I'll always try to update you guys on the World Wide Web of Weird. And last week we talked about the Amelia Earhart photo and the History Channel documentary. Well, this just proves why we should not believe everything we see on TV or the internet. So this comes from TheGuardian.com. A blogger discredits claim Amelia Earhart was taken prisoner by Japan. Remember, this came up last week. They have this picture. Oh, let me make sure I share the screen here so we can see the article. Claims made in a U.S. documentary that pioneering aviator Amelia Earhart landed on the Marshall Islands in the Pacific Ocean, was taken prisoner by the Japanese, appear to have been proven false by a photographer unearthed in a travel book. The History Channel documentary Amelia Earhart, The Lost Evidence, which aired in the U.S. on last Sunday, made the claim that the American and her navigator friend, Fred Noonan, ended up in a Japanese custody based on a photograph discovered in the U.S. National Archives that purported to show them standing at a harbor on one of the islands. The film said the image may hold the key to solving one of history's all-time greatest mysteries, and suggested it disproved the widely accepted theory that Earhart and Noonan disappeared over the Western Pacific on July 2nd, 1937, near the end of their attempt at a history-making flight around the world. But serious doubts now surround the film's premise after Tokyo-based blogger unearthed the same photograph in the archives of the National Diet Library, Japan National History. The image was part of a Japanese-language travelogue about the South Seas that was published almost 2 years before Earhart disappeared. Page 113 states the book was published in Japanese, held Palo on 10th of October 1935. The caption beneath the image makes no mention of the identities of the people in the photograph. It describes a maritime activity at the harbor of Jabbar and Jelle Atoll, the headquarters of Japan's administration for the Marshall Islands between the First World War and its defeat in the Second World War. The caption notes that the monthly races between the schooners belongs to local tribal leaders, and other vessels turned to port into a busting spectacle. Kodo Yamo, I probably butchered that, sorry Kodo, military history blogger who unearthed the Japanese photograph, said it took him just 30 minutes to effectively debunk the documentary's central claim. I've never believed the theory that Earhart was captured by the Japanese military, so I decided to find out for myself, Yamano told The Guardian. I was sure that the same photo must be on record in Japan. Yamano ran an online search using the keyword Jelle Atoll and a decade-long time frame starting in 1930. The photo was the 10th item that came up, he said. I was really happy when I saw it. I find it strange that documentary makers didn't confirm the date on the photograph or the publication which it originally appeared. This is the first thing they could have done. Yamano's Twitter post fueled social media's discussion of the possible cause of Earhart's disappearance and criticism of the History Channel documentary. The photograph shows a woman with her back to the camera, who the film suggests is Earhart, alongside a man, purportedly Noonan, whose face is visible with other people standing on a dock on Walt Atoll in the Marshall Islands. Earhart and Noonan were last seen taking off in their twin-engine Lockheed Electra on July 2nd, 1937, from Papua New Guinea, en route to the Howland Island, about 2,500 miles away. You know, you can read this article on The Guardian, but it just shows they got this one photo, made a whole documentary out of it, made a big deal out of it for the History Channel, and 30 minutes of research, and a guy totally blew it away. Just totally showed how much of crap it was. This is what we're dealing with. Fake news. Well, fake documentaries.
I know, man. What happened to? Why can't they just report real stuff anymore?
Right, exactly. I mean, why did they have to? Why didn't they research it further? For one,
clickbait.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's not just click. This is the History Channel. They want you to clickbait over to their channel and watch it. It's ridiculous. I mean, come on. 30 minutes. This guy totally destroyed their whole premise of their documentary. All right,
and I was really excited to watch that too. That's one that I wanted to see.
It's her disappearance is going to be one of those mysteries that always fascinates the public's mind. All right, we're up to number 2 here on the World Wide Web of Weird. This comes from unexplainedmysteries.com. China has teleported a photon into orbit. And this is stuff I like because I'm a sci-fi geek. Working out of a base in Tibet, more than 4,500 meters above sea level, the team achieved the feat thanks to Mikius, a tiny quantum-enabled satellite that was launched into the orbit last year. I might have totally butchered what the name of that satellite is. The key to the project is a concept known as quantum entanglement, which involves pairs of entangled particles, each inextricably linked to the other, even when they are apart. This phenomenon, which Einstein referred to as spooky action at a distance, means that changing the properties of one particle result in a corresponding change in the other, even when the two entangled particles are located a large distance from one another. Scientists have previously demonstrated potential to teleport data between two entangled particles in a laboratory, but now the team in China has managed to achieve the same thing over a distance up to 1,400 miles by beaming one half of the entangled pair up to the orbiting satellite. Their success marks the first step towards the creation of an encrypted quantum network, a completely uncrackable form of communication. One day, methods like these could have even lead to the creation of a super secure quantum internet. You know, everybody sees this, they think they're talking about teleporting humans. Maybe one day, we're nowhere near that. But it is interesting because you're talking about the highest, fastest speed we could transfer data. And if we want to communicate to people on Mars or on Moon, you know, long-distance communication too, we're going to need something like this. So my sci-fi brain loves this kind of stuff. All right, let's move on. Number 3 in the World Wide Web of Weird. This video says a devil child trying to manifest itself. This is from the Paranormal Globe. The article comes from Beyond Reality News. Some claim this video is of a devil child trying to manifest in a haunted house. Thoughts? Mark was investigating the haunted home at the time and believes what you see in the video is that of a devil child trying to manifest itself in front of the room of his house. Now, people that are listening, we broadcast to Facebook Live, but we're also broadcasting Late Night in the Midlands Radio Network, which you can listen to on latenightmidlandsradionetwork.com, or you can listen to on TuneIn. If you want to see these videos, I do post them on my Paranormal Soup YouTube channel under World Wide Web of Weird playlist or under Tonight's Show. And I also make an edit of this World Wide Web of Weird every Sunday, and it usually is up on my Facebook the next day and up on YouTube maybe a few days later. So you can always check out these videos later or just go to the websites I tell you about. This one's from BeyondRealityNews.com. Mark was investigating the haunted home at the time that he believes what you see in the video is that of a devil child trying to manifest itself in front of the room of the house. Answer the question about this at the bottom of this video. Well, no, whatever. He said, at first I thought it was the figure of a young boy, but on closer inspection it appears to have horns. You can clearly see its features and horns. I don't clearly see, unless he means what's going on to the left. The house has a history of ghostly goings-on, with an exorcism being performed by the church back in the 1980s after residents living in there at the time were complaining of being kept awake at night due to scratching noises at the foot of their bed and feeling as someone was trying to crawl into their bed. That's the worst. I don't know. I mean, they show a lot of different angles. They show
I just saw the horns, what they are calling horns. Now I see it. It looks like, if you're familiar with The Sims, the freezer bunny ice cream thing, it just looks like a shape that happened to have its two fingers coming up. I don't know if they mean that's the horns, but it's that little blob that you see moving up there, I think.
I don't
what
know.
They're talking about.
I just don't really see it. There's something going on there, but I don't know if it's paranormal. I just don't know.
And a lot of matrixing, it looks like. Like the video quality is really bad.
Well, part of it's bad because we're replaying it on here. You can check this out at Paranormal Globe, watch the video, you know, see what you think you're seeing in it. I don't know. I really don't see anything. I don't see the horns. I don't see it. But, you know, it's been viral. A lot of people
Right there.
Yeah?
Wait, I'll tell you. Right now. Do you start to see those two fingers come up?
Where at
in the
picture?
top left.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
Now look, there's like two things, and that's the only things I see that look like they could be horns real fast.
Yeah, I kind of see it. I don't know. I think it's a camera blip. I don't know. All right, let's move on. This comes from the Herald.co. Mysterious stones raining on a town in Chinhoy, I believe you say. So this comes from the Herald. Mysterious stones rain on Chinhoy family. Walter Namakandio, Chinhoy Bureau. This is where this comes from. Okay. Chinhoy family is living in fear and anguish after mysterious stones from an invisible source rain on them, inflicting injuries and damaging property. Initially, the stones targeted family members and started at 20.08 hours every night, but the attacks are now frequent. The audible claps and pinching often result in people fainting for up to 3 hours. The Herald visited the house, number 4146A, in Oh, wow, Chicano suburb, Chinoy, butchered that, where these mysterious happenings have been witnessed. Heaps of stones, including half bricks, broken window panes, and asbestos sheets, that's not good, are strewn around the house. Miss Tabitha Chivira narrated the family's ordeal, which started on May 9th this year. Her 22-year-old daughter, Concelia, was the first victim after she was hit by small stones on 2 occasions. The stones got bigger with time. The family now has 2 sacks of stones whose source is a mystery. Because of the frequency of the attacks, I've come to understand that some of the wind often precedes the attacks. Currently, the attacks are mostly targeted at my 19-year-old daughter, says Mrs. Chavira. Prior to the attack, the family would find a bag full of clothes on their yard. Last-born Shamisio, 19, is attacked more frequently and loses consciousness whenever it happens. In some instances, she reveals the identity of the family's tormentors in a trance. The father, Mr. Philip Chavira, 55, has also been at the receiving end of the attacks. We've been seeing him seeking help from Paulistic sect prophets, but to no avail. They have not been able to help. I don't know what is wrong. I've done nothing to deserve such a pain and mysterious occurrences in my family. We would like to appeal for anyone who can help, but the manifestations of my daughter and previous experiences, this will need someone strong. In a bid to avoid attacks on her daughter, Ms. Chavira tried to create a buffer around her one day using a 3.6-inch metal sheet. That did not help, as the 2 stones managed to penetrate the main roof and the metal sheet, giving off a thunderous sound. I thought I could protect my daughter and hope that when the stones penetrate the roof, they would land on the metal sheet and avoid her. However, 2 stones hit her and she fainted, and when we looked at the sheet, there was 2 footprints the size of small fingers, she said. Doors, windows, and walls are pounded like someone is knocking with a strong force. Some window panes have been broken, while doors have been loosened from their hinges. Strangely, stones penetrate the walls, roof, and windows, sometimes without leaving a mark. Neighbors confirmed hearing strange noises like someone is banging the doors. At times, clothes are mysteriously found outside. The currents at this house are quite strange. People are being attacked by stones, which has resulted in us fearing to visit the home, said a neighbor. At one time, the family called apostolic, I'm totally butchering that, faith prophets who performed rituals to cleanse the house. However, a clay pot they had buried in the ground was found at the doorstep the following morning. Must have been some part of some of the ritual. When they surveyed the yard, they found a large hole size of the clay pot. At times when the family prepares for a meal, it's filled with human waste. Ooh. That somebody took a dump in it, basically. Shimizo is always escorted by her family even to visit the toilet as she's attacked whenever she is alone. We ensure that she is not alone at any given time because any moment she is left alone, she's attacked. When it happens, something forceful like a snake moves inside her stomach. Oh, that's scary. Almost as if to squeeze her heart and lungs. So we move quickly to block it. It's a real battle, says Concealia, a sister to Shimizo. Ms. Sharir said she believes in prayers which have helped calm the situation. Some elders from the local church went to the house to offer prayers, but left in a huff after they were hit by stones. Wow. You know, they keep talking about the daughter. To me, it sounded like a classic, if it's real. This comes from July 8th, too. Like a classic poltergeist, like centered around a teenage girl. She's 19. You know, this just sounds so classic, you know. That kind of activity. Like, it's not a ghost. It's more centered around some psychokinetic energy from the teenager. I love these kind of stories because to me, you're tapping into the primal nature of our own psychic energy when you deal with these kind of cases. All right, let's move on. All right, next up, number 5 is alien footprints found in, this is from the New Indiana Express. Alien footprints found near Karnataka, Gadago. How to say that there. Oh. And then the article goes to, you've just won a Amazon. No, I don't care. Never. This didn't happen before. I lost my article. We might have to skip this one. I had an article for it, and it's being, now it doesn't want to let me read the article because it wants me to sign up for Amazon. All right. People found these half footprints have been found wiped out at many points because the curious visitors are tramping about to see alien footprints. This is like alien footprints. I'm trying to remember the article. I read it. Now I can't read it now because it's not up. We'll just move on. Move on from that one, Jeff. I can't get the article to work. This one, this is cool. Especially if you're a Halo fan. This is like straight out of Halo or some kind of video game. It's from Unexplained Mysteries. Russia is developing a Stormtrooper Exosuit. The futuristic exoskeleton combat suit looks like something straight out of a science fiction movie. And if you people are listening to the show, if you see this, it totally looks like something out of a video game, like some kind of bio exosuit, like almost Halo-like. And he's got some badass machine gun to go with it. Keen to ensure that its armed forces are well equipped for any challenges of the future might hold, Russia's Central Research Institute for Precision Machine Building is working on creating a state-of-the-art suit for Star Wars-esque combat armor, featuring a powerful exoskeleton, a heads-up display inside the helmet, and even a ballistic protection system designed to keep the wearer safe from enemy bullets. The suit is still just a concept at the moment, but there are plans to begin production within the next few years. Not to be outdone, the U.S. military is also believed to be working on something similar, known as the Tactical Light Operator Suit, or TALOS, which takes an inspiration from the Marvel superhero Iron Man. Just how many of these combat suits will actually be produced, however, remains unclear. Future warfare will involve operators and machines, not soldiers shooting at each other on the battlefield, said Lieutenant General Ardney Girgorov, I totally butchered that, of Russia's Advanced Research Foundation. And I just saw right before the show a recent article talking and showing pictures of the American version. The American version looks like something out of Splinter Cell. It's got like 3 eyes on it or whatever. It's really weird for the night vision. But yeah, I guess we're making our own. So the battlefields are going to change. We know this, and it's going to look like something out of a video game. All right, last up on the World Wide Web of Weird. This is one I've been really waiting for. This comes from allufos.com, and this video footage is crazy. And I love the stuff where people are flying in planes because it scares the crap out of me. A truly unique UFO encounter took place over Toluca, Mexico recently, where a pilot observed a number of unusual objects passing his plane mid-flight. You'll see these things fly right by his plane. In the unedited footage below, we can see a number of unidentified objects zooming past his aircraft. The pilot clearly has no idea what they are, and at first glance it is difficult to determine what we are looking at here. The objects appear metallic in nature, and some resemble orbs, but they are flying too high and too fast to be drones. They are clearly not balloons or anything of that nature either. Thanks to the pilot for the fascinating sighting. I mean, the one ends up coming right up at his front of his plane, the last shot. I made another edit. There's that one. You see it right fly by, and it's going so fast. You know, this small plane isn't going that fast. These things are zooming right by it. It's crazy. And you can see another one off in the distance there. And for people to find this footage, you can look it up on YouTube on my playlist. Go to Paranormal Soup on YouTube or Jason Bland. You find it in the World Wide Web of Weird playlist. It's UFO over Toluca. I'm totally butchering how it said, Mexico. Check out that video because I think this is legit footage. Maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't look like somebody faked. You can see his kind of reaction in the small plane he is. Like, he's kind of scared. I don't have the audio playing of the video, but if you listen to the audio, you can hear his kind of intake of breath when one of them comes up at him. Like, oh, geez. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. And that's it for the World Wide Web of Weird. So we're going to go ahead and roll into our first commercial break of the show. When we come back, we're going to have our guest, Julia Syracusa and Vanessa Hogel. We're going to talk about the Legend of Crosby from Staten Island. They've been investigating all weekend, so we're going to do that, and then we'll be back. And after the second break, we will have call-in lines to the show. It'll be the Soup Live Chat, 800 Live Chat. But let's go ahead and roll into our commercial break. We'll see you in just a few minutes.